Picture this. You find a dusty old penny jar in your grandmother's attic, and inside sits a small bronze coin from 1961 that looks completely worthless. You're about to toss it aside when you decide to take one more look under a magnifying glass. What you discover in that moment changes everything. That tiny 1-cent piece from South Africa, smaller than a dime, is actually worth over $1.7 million. This isn't a fantasy or clickbait. This is the reality that happened to a coin collector in 2019 who almost threw away what turned out to be one of the most valuable pennies ever discovered. Right now, you might have this exact coin sitting in a drawer, and you have no idea you're a millionaire. The 1961 South African 1-cent coin represents a pivotal moment in the nation's monetary history. This was the very first year South Africa introduced decimal currency, abandoning the British pound sterling system that had been used for generations. The transition from pounds, shillings, and pence to rands and cents was a declaration of increasing independence from British colonial influence. The new 1-cent coin featured 2 sparrows on the reverse side, symbolizing the common beauty found throughout South Africa. The obverse displayed the portrait of Jan van Riebeeck, the Dutch colonial administrator who founded Cape Town in 1652. These coins were struck at the Pretoria Mint in massive quantities to ensure the entire nation had enough new currency for the conversion. But here's where the story becomes absolutely electrifying. During the production of these first-year decimal coins, the Pretoria Mint encountered serious technical problems. The dies used to strike coins were wearing out faster than anticipated due to the enormous volume needed for the currency changeover. In their rush to meet demand, mint workers made critical errors that resulted in some of the most spectacular and valuable coin mistakes ever produced. One particular error involves what collectors call the proof strike on wrong metal variety. A small number of 1-cent coins were accidentally struck on silver planchets intended for 50-cent pieces instead of the bronze planchets they should have been struck on. These silver 1-cent coins are so rare that only 3 confirmed examples exist in the world today. The discovery of these silver 1-cent errors sent shockwaves through the global numismatic community. The first specimen surfaced in 1982 when a Johannesburg coin dealer was sorting through estate coins and noticed 1-cent piece had an unusual color and weight. Testing confirmed it was struck on a silver planchet, and the coin immediately became legendary. That first discovered specimen sold privately in 2003 for approximately $450,000. The second known example appeared at auction in 2009, and realized an astounding $975,000. But the third specimen, discovered in that grandmother's attic in 2019, was in near-perfect condition and sold through a specialized auction for $1.7 million, setting a world record for any South African cent denomination. Beyond these silver strikes, the standard bronze 1961 1-cent coins have their own fascinating varieties that command serious money. The most sought after is the doubled die obverse, where Van Riebeeck's portrait shows clear doubling on the facial features, particularly around the eye, nose, and coat details. This error occurred when the die used to strike the coins received multiple impressions during its manufacturing process, slightly offset from each other. When coins are struck with such a die, they show doubled images. A 1961 1-cent with strong doubled die characteristics in uncirculated condition has sold for as much as $38,000. Even moderately circulated examples with visible doubling fetch between $5,000 and $12,000. Another variety that drives collectors wild is the repunched date, where the 1961 date shows evidence of being stamped twice in slightly different positions. Look closely at the numbers with strong magnification, and you'll see faint ghost images of the digits offset from the main numbers. These repunched dates happened because mint workers had to manually position date punches on working dies, and sometimes they struck twice to ensure a clear impression. The most dramatic repunched date varieties on 1961 1 cents sell for $8,000 to $15,000, depending on the strength of the repunching and overall coin condition. Condition is absolutely everything when it comes to coin values. The grading scale runs from poor 1 up to perfect mint state 70. A common 1961 bronze 1 cent in average circulated condition might be worth only 50 cents to $2. That exact same coin in MS-67 condition, showing no wear and possessing full original mint luster, could be worth $400. Jump to MS-68 and you're looking at $1,200. An MS-69 specimen, virtually perfect, has sold for over $6,000. This dramatic value difference based on subtle condition variations is why professional grading is essential for potentially valuable coins. The 1961 date also includes proof versions made specifically for collectors. The South African Mint produced proof sets containing one example of each denomination struck with specially polished dies and mirror-like fields. Only about 3,000 proof sets were made for 1961, making them quite scarce today. A 1961 proof 1 cent in its original holder grades at proof 65 or better typically sells for $200 to $400. Perfect proof 70 examples, which show absolutely no imperfections even under high magnification, have reached $1,800 at auction. What should you actually look for if you're searching for valuable 1961 1 cents? First, check the metal composition. A standard bronze coin is reddish-brown and lightweight. If you find one that's silver-colored and noticeably heavier, you might have hit the jackpot. Weigh it if possible. A normal bronze 1 cent weighs 1.5 grams, while a silver 50-cent planchet weighs 11.3 grams. That difference is immediately noticeable in hand. Second, examine the portrait details closely under magnification. Look for any doubling of features, especially the facial details and lettering. Third, study the date carefully for any evidence of repunching. Fourth, assess the overall condition honestly, comparing it to graded examples in reference guides. Storage and preservation are critical once you've identified a potentially valuable coin. Never clean coins under any circumstances. What looks like dirt to you is called patina by collectors, and removing it destroys value instantly. Handle coins only by the edges, never touching the faces. Skin oils cause chemical reactions that create spots over time. Store coins individually in inert holders specifically designed for numismatic storage. Keep them away from humidity, temperature extremes, and direct light. If you believe you have a valuable variety, submit it to a professional grading service like PCGS, NGC, or SANGS for authentication and encapsulation. The market for 1961 South African coins has grown exponentially as collectors worldwide have recognized the historical significance and rarity of these first-year decimal issues. Collectors in Europe, Asia, Australia, and the Americas actively compete for choice examples, driving prices steadily upward. The 3 silver 1 cent errors are considered among the holy grails of South African numismatics, and experts believe additional examples might still exist undiscovered. Every major South African coin collection aspires to include a high-grade 1961 1 cent with interesting variety characteristics. Why are these coins scattered globally rather than concentrated in South Africa? The answer lies in decades of emigration, as South Africans left the country for political, economic, and personal reasons throughout the latter 20th century. They took their possessions with them, including old coins. Today, valuable 1961 1 cents turn up in estate sales in London, Melbourne, Toronto, and California just as often as in Johannesburg or Cape Town. This worldwide distribution means anyone, anywhere might stumble upon a fortune in an inherited collection or antique shop. Investing in rare coins like the 1961 1 cent offers diversification beyond traditional stocks and bonds. Rare coins have maintained value through wars, depressions, and currency crises. They're tangible assets you can hold and enjoy while potentially appreciating. The rare coin market has delivered solid returns over decades, with some segments outperforming other investment classes. However, successful coin investing requires knowledge, patience, and a long-term perspective. Transaction costs can be significant, and short-term price fluctuations do occur. If this video opened your eyes to the hidden treasures that might be in your possession, please subscribe to our channel for more incredible coin discoveries, authentication tips, and market insights. Hit that like button to help others learn about valuable coins they might own without knowing it. Share this video with anyone who has old coins, inherited collections, or interest in numismatics. Drop a comment below about your own coin finds or questions about specific pieces. Together, we can uncover hidden wealth and preserve numismatic history. Thank you for watching, and may your next coin search reveal something extraordinary.